Hello and welcome to the second math video that I'm going to be showing you. We are towards the end of the second card marking, the beginning of the third card marking, and right around this time we start to introduce multiplication. Multiplication, we understand, is a new topic for some third graders. Some may have exposure, but not all of them. So what we first start off with for multiplication is teaching the students strategies, because memorizing, as we know from studies and research, it just doesn't work. That's the old school way. When I was younger, my teacher would give me a chart and say, here's your multiplication facts, go and study them. And that way worked for a while. But now students need a more visual, more hands-on learning experience to help them understand their multiplication facts. So study the multiplication facts at home, but also when it becomes too hard, we also offer strategies that make learning multiplication easy. So the first strategy that we start off and we teach our students is called the array. And an array is a picture. So if the problem is, let me grab a pencil. So if the problem is 3 times 3, okay? So that means that we are going to draw a picture with 3 rows and 3 columns. We teach our students rows and columns. We say columns are like a wall that they stand straight up, they hold the roof. And then the row is like you row your boat. And yes, they love it when you sing that song to them. So that's how they know what the difference is. So when it's 3 times 3, I tell them to do dots, because if we're doing a test or if they're doing a timed multiplication test, they will not have time to draw fancy smancy pictures. Dots are perfect. And since I'm showing you the video, I'm just doing quick little dots here. And I hate when this thing pops up. Alright, so I'm just doing 3 rows. I always tell my students to start off with the rows first. We know we have to have 3 of them, so 1, 2, 3. And then in each row we have to have 3 dots. So I have 3 in the first one, and then I'm just simply going to copy off the second one. And then you go ahead and you count up all your dots. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 3 times 3 is 9. I tell them, because some students do not line up their dots, that it's a good idea to use like a different crayon or color pencil or something and cross off the ones that they do count. I also make sure that they know it's important to keep their dots lined up, because when they start to go a little crazy, especially for multiplying 7 times 8, that's a lot of dots. And for many students, they will use this strategy when they get into their 8th. So that's the first one, drawing an array. You just start off with your rows and columns, and then you start making a box or dots or whatever you prefer to show how many are there. The second strategy that we teach the students is called repeated addition. I'm just going to grab a new paper here. So repeated addition is if you can add, you can multiply. That's what we tell the students. So if the problem, and I'm going to use a paintbrush because I don't like the way the pen looked on that one. If the problem is 4 times 3, okay, the front number tells me how many groups I have of something. So that's how many groups I have. The back number tells me how many are in each group. So if the story problem was Freddie had 4 groups of goldfish, so your students would know to draw 4 goldfish bags, and in each goldfish bag he had 3 goldfish. They could take something like a different color pencil and draw the dots to represent the 3 goldfish inside the bag. So that's another strategy that we always teach students, is that the front number is the groups, how many groups you have. We have 4 groups. How many dots are in each group? 3 of them. And then they just simply count all the dots together, count them together, and that's the answer for that problem. Repeated addition is what I was talking about before I turned to another one, but still, you can still use the same strategy. So repeated addition is when the students are going to pick one of the numbers. Since we're learning it, I normally just let them pick whatever one they want. So they can say 4 is their number, and they are going to write 4 3 times. So what they'll do is they'll say 4 plus 4 plus 4. If you want to write the addition sign for each time, you can. If it makes it more easy for the student, if that's what they like to do, that's fine. If they want to write it once, that's fine as well. So then they can simply just add 4 plus 4 plus 4. Some students know how to do that in their head. They know how to get 12. They know that there's 4 dots on the number 4 For those of you that are wondering what that is, there was I don't know what it was, a program or a study a long time ago where they were teaching students that there were dots on numbers. So there would be a dot here, dot here, dot here, and dot here. And when the student saw this number, they knew to count the dots, and that's what number made up 4. And each number has a different amount, a different space of dots. Like 3 has the dots like here, here, and here, so they count them to get the 3. So some students use that strategy. Or if they want, they can write the number 3 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is just another strategy. They don't have to do it. I just know that some students like to add because it's easier for them. We always tell the students, if you can add, you can multiply. It's the same exact thing. So since we're just starting, I normally don't make them pick one or the other. They can choose. If they want to write 4 3 times, that's fine. Or, excuse me, if they want to write 3 4 times, that's fine too. They'll still get the same answer. And then they simply count the dots if that's what they know, or if they know another strategy. And then they just, get the answer as 12 as their answer. So that's another strategy as well. With this video, I am also going to be posting 2 of my favorite multiplication videos. Pretty much, multiplication is skip counting. If you think about it, all the answers for anything times 2 is something that you say when you count by 2, right? 2 times 2 is 4. When you count by 2s, it goes 2, 4, right? So patterns are very good if they know that. Same for like the 3s, the 5s, all of them. So if your child knows patterns, those will be very helpful. There will be some videos I'm posting that they can watch and see the patterns, but many of them they should know. I only have videos for the 3s, the 2s, and the 5s, which I know 2s and 5s are very easy. But some of them don't make that connection, and I really try to force that connection on them that multiplication is just skip counting. It just says how many groups there are and what's in them, and that's how we solve them. So teach your child these strategies because we can't memorize everything. I know studies say that humans can only remember 7 things in their brain at a time, and if you look at a multiplication chart, there's more than 7 answers. So it's very important that your student has some type of strategy in their back pocket to help them with the test. We don't start doing multiplication facts until later on, and what I mean by that is we do not give students problems that say 3 times 2 and then tell me the answer right now. We will do that down the road, but they first need to learn some strategies because this is a brand new subject for them. Yes, we do get into division, but you cannot divide if you cannot add or multiply. So that's why we show them these strategies first. So these are the strategies that we have. They're raised, the first one, where you do your rows and columns. Rows, you always start off with, you have 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's always 3 dots in each row. So we already have 1 dot down. Students get this part mixed up. And then we add 3 more because there's already 1 in there. Since we know there's 3 here, we simply don't even have to count anymore. We just simply follow along, tracing underneath the other ones. And then when they're done, they just simply count them. I encourage them to use a different color pencil or something so that way they know that they cross them off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. They can do repeated addition where they can pick one of the numbers and write that as many times as the back number, or if they're choosing to do the back number, they can write that as many times as the front number. If they would like, they can do groups. So we said that the first number is how many groups we have. We have 4 groups. So this is great for story problems. 3 and 4, and how many fish are in the bag. And we can say there's 3 in a bag. And unfortunately, these dots will not get any larger for me because I'm trying to do it quickly. And then they just simply count the dots, which gives them 12. So these are just some strategies to keep. It's helpful. If you think of any on your own, please send them to me. As I said, I'll be posting videos that the students can also sing along to. Encourage patterns. Start teaching them harder ones like 4s because we don't really use 4s for anything common. And start teaching them 7s, 8s, so on and so forth. So that way they get used to multiplying. So that's what we'll be doing during this semester just getting multiplication, because we do get into area and perimeter, and as we know, that also uses multiplication. So we just need to teach them the basics, get them some strategies, get them comfortable, and then eventually move on to division. I won't post the video again until division because we'll be working on these strategies for card marking. So if you have any questions, email me. I hope you find this useful. Thank you for going along with my writing. I know I'm not the best writer with this paint, but still I feel the numbers we can see. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.